We are live.
We are soon live. We are now live.
We are now live.
Yes.
All right. Good.
All right.
All right.
Finally, that is a relief.
We are now live. All right.
Marcus, can you turn off our stream?
Good one.
Marcus, can you turn off our stream? We have some feedback from the stream, but finally we are live, and thank you so much for waiting for us 13 minutes. We have been having some issues. It turned out that YouTube manually wanted us to go start the live stream without Zoom recognizing it. So here we are. And firstly, we are just waiting for Living Sacrifice this moment to join us. They are coming soon. We lost Darren in the live streaming technical issues accident.
So, how shall we celebrate today? Coffee?
That's always a good choice. I am celebrating with beer and some Pringles I have yet to discover that I don't think I should discover on live stream.
But just start our intro.
Yes, I can do that. Let us see here. If you turn off your cameras, maybe it's more beautiful that way. If you turn off your cameras, maybe it's more beautiful. Yes.
Yes. Welcome, everyone, to this celebration, really. I mean, it feels like we've been, I mean, the band has been working on this for a long time, but I feel we've been working on it a very long time ourselves. It's almost a complete pregnancy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Took some time, but it's finally here.
You know that the elephant can go pregnant for 3 years?
No, I did not know.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's happening tonight, Marcus?
Well, tonight we have some questions for the band regarding the release and when it was conceived and the studio stuff and all that. And then we shall maybe share some Living Sacrifice memories that we have. And then we have a mystery guest who will introduce our competition, where you can win one of our beautiful Nordic Mission t-shirts and this compact disc, which came out really nice, I must say.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So shall we just show these people the Skal vi se, Bruce venta fått med lærerne no waiting room.
Maybe Darren too.
All right.
Yeah.
You here?
Hello.
Hello. Nice to see you.
You too.
Yeah. We had Darren there for a while without you, and now we have you without Darren. So
Where did Darren go?
I don't know. I'm guessing he will be back quite soon. We had some issues with Zoom not responding to YouTube and such. So
Gotcha.
you are fashionably late in the way that you are not late at all. Actually, you're just right on time.
Awesome.
So I'm gonna actually start by having this little birthday cake for
30 years. You got 3 candles.
3 candles, one for each decade.
Awesome. Love it.
Yeah, I usually have like this with the sparks coming out.
Mm-hmm.
But, the last time it set out my fire alarm and woke the kids.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I'm turning down the fireworks to something special still, but not quite as exotic.
Yeah.
So 30 years. How does it feel? Does it feel like 30 years? Still, but not quite as exotic. Yeah.
So this is on Zoom, huh?
This is on Zoom.
Sorry,
yeah.
On YouTube.
There you are.
Hey, DJ.
What's up, Bruce?
I'm at work.
Good for you.
I was just lighting these 3 candles as the 30th anniversary thing. And my first question is, does it feel 30 years ago?
Yes.
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 But at the same time, it's like kind of like happened like that. It definitely feels like, you know, a different lifetime. But, you know, just, you know, it's like how did it that much time transpire, you know?
Because
kind of crazy.
Could you take us back? You know, who was these teenagers who was entering the studio back in 1991? You know, what was these editions of Bruce and Darren like?
Well, I think I was the oldest, and Jason was like what, 16, 17, Bruce?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
yeah. He may have turned, I think he's 17. He was 17 when the contract got signed, but he may have turned 18 in between. I think his birthday's June 1st. So not sure on the dates of when we signed versus when we went into the studio and all that. I mean, I know there was a lag. But
what were you like as persons? You know, were you what's the biggest difference between you now back then and now?
You know, I mean, what were you like when you were 18?
Well,
I mean, to be fair, to be honest, I mean, when you're a kid, you don't know anything. You're just kind of an idiot. And so, I mean, we were, I think, I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but me personally, I was just like kind of a naive, like, oh, okay, let's do this. Let's make it happen. Let's put a trailer on the back of my pickup truck and, drive to Iowa. We burned out the engine. We burned out the engine coming back. DJ was driving when that happened, and it all got blamed on me for not checking the oil. But I think.
Well, that's true. Actually,
that's not true. My theory is that DJ, who is used to driving a 4-speed Jeep, had the truck in 4th gear and not 5th gear, and was just flying down the road. And he burned it out that way. That's my theory.
Did you tour a lot with this album?
I think we did.
We did like 30 dates. Yeah.
So like almost 5 weeks, 6 weeks.
And how was the accommodation?
I got to contest one thing, that when the wrecker came to pick the truck up, there's no oil in the engine, so we're going to differ about that.
That's because the cylinder had busted and all the oil was sprayed out all over the engine.
Excuses.
But
Whose
what, yeah, Paul.
whose father's truck was it?
Yeah.
Well, it was technically my truck, but my dad ended up paying for the engine replacement.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
The dads that keep the rock and roll running when
Yeah.
you're in that age. Yeah.
they did, and we, on the beginning of the documentary, we thank all of our fathers who have since passed, because they were all very supportive in their own way. So especially Darren's dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it must be very, to see your children, really get into something and give something their best and really invest in something. It must be quite. I mean, I have small kids now, but I would be really proud, to see they invest such an enormous amount of time and just to invest so much in something that is that positive. But of course, back in the 90s, maybe it was not conceived as positive for everyone.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the fact that Lance's parents gave us their master bedroom to use as a rehearsal room, that showed such confidence, and we had a lot of support with our parents, and it is amazing that they did support us like that. It was a major blessing. We moved from the garage, Bruce.
We did.
But your town is, as it says in the new version of the album, it says that Little Rock is not like the thrash capital in the States. So what did the other people think of it? Did they find it strange, or was it bad? Were you troubled kids for them?
I think the people that were into music and into metal and thrash, really embraced us right away, and we were still just barely out of high school, so we had a lot of friends. But there was a great place in town, a club called Vino's. It's still open today, but it opened right around the same time we started as a band in 1990. And it's just been a staple of like live, bands coming through, all ages shows, things like that. If anybody didn't understand, it would have been like, the religious community. They, in 1989, 1990, it was still very, very much a foreign thing, and we just didn't pay much attention to it. Anyways, we just.
And we didn't grow up in the church either, so it didn't really matter to us.
You didn't?
Yeah.
No,
I kind of found that out in the documentary. It was really nice.
Yeah. So we weren't like we didn't have a lot of like inhibitions about metal or playing metal and stuff like that. It was never like put on us as like, oh, this is evil or whatever. It was definitely like probably questioned a little bit, but not, since our none of our parents were very religious or anything like that. It wasn't, it just wasn't a big deal. They did ultimately see it as a positive thing because we were doing something creatively and we were dedicated to it. I would say it was more religious people that just kind of didn't know what to do with us. And being, in this part of the country where Arkansas is, it's the South, and it's very conservative and very suspicious or superstitious, so there was definitely a little weirdness. And I don't know if you guys probably, I don't know if you didn't experience this back then or in Norway, but during this time period, especially late 80s, there was like they look at it now, look back at it now, and they call it the Satanic Panic.
I bought that book. I don't remember the writer right now, but he wrote a book called The Satanic Panic.
Yeah,
it's just awesome.
I need to check that out for sure, because I haven't read it. I've heard of the book or whatever, but like, you know, during that time, you know, that's when basically everybody was like coming out against metal and telling people to burn their records, and you know, like there was like this evil, you know, kind of evil agenda happening with everything, and it was very much very strong in the southern United States. So we experienced that for sure. We saw it, and we were kind of caught between two worlds, because we loved metal and we grew up with it, but we did want to honor God, you know, at the same time. So,
but how was the response on the album when it came out? You know, did you get a lot of
I think it was great.
reviews?
We've got a couple of write-ups in like secular magazines at the time, like Metal Maniacs, and you know, Scott Burns listed it as one of his top 10 albums of the year, which was, you know, amazing, you know, to have that kind of
Burns listed it as one of his top.
What happened there? You talk about Scott Burns, who listed it as one of his top albums of the year?
Yes, in Metal Maniacs. I'm sorry if I dropped out, but yeah, he listed it as one of his top. In that's why we were excited about that, and we had contacted him about doing the next album, but that didn't happen.
But could you tell us? I mean, for us, I mean, growing up with Living Sacrifice and just you know, with Living Sacrifice, Rex, and Believer, you know, the cooperation between Doug Mann and Kurt Bachman is kind of like has been a bit of a mystical thing. Could you tell us a bit about how this cooperation came about?
Well, I got Believer's demo, and it had Kurt's home phone number in it, and it had Joey's Dobbs as well. But I called Kurt because I was a singer, and I wanted to tell him how much I loved his voice on that first demo. And they had already been signed to REX, and he was very encouraging and said, you know, you guys put together a demo. I'll see what I can do. If it's good enough, I'll pass it on. And I guess it was good enough. And he passed it along to Doug, and Doug called me out of the blue one day when I was coming home from, I was in college at the time, and I just happened to check my answering machine before I was going to put a $200 deposit on the studio in Dallas, because we're going to do another demo, because the first demo obviously didn't get us signed. So, but I checked the answering machine real quick, and Doug called. So I didn't lose the $200 deposit on the studio in Dallas, Texas. So it was just this kind of circumstances that everything lined up, and you know, within that March we were signed, and by May we were at Cedar Falls recording. So with Kurt and
how did these two people inflict the songwriting or the production of the album music? What did they contribute with?
How he was talking about that? How did they contribute to the production? Well, the songs were written. I mean, the songs didn't change one bit by the time we got to the studio. It was really more about getting the sounds and you know, just having the right studio and miking everything properly. That studio in Iowa is a really top-notch studio. I don't know if it's still around today or not, but DJ, did you say that Slipknot ended up recording there? Was it their first record there, or one of their records?
It was Stone Sour.
Stone Sour. So yeah,
Tomato.
What's that?
Tomato, Stone Sour, Slipknot.
Who cares? So yeah. So but the studio was great, and you listen to the album, and even I listen, because I haven't been listening to it, but when I got the CD in, I popped it in and checked it out, listened to it in my truck. And it's man, it still holds up. It sounds really good. Today, I put it up against, any of the thrash that's coming out now, like Power Trip or Revocation, it sounds as good as those records, in my mind. And so, yeah, I mean, it turned out to be a good working situation. There were two engineers working on the album, plus Kurt Bachman and Doug. And yeah, it was, it was quick too. I mean, everything got knocked out. All the recording was 4 days, and then mixing another 2 days. So it was like 6 days total for the entire album.
Wow.
Yeah.
How many drum takes on each song?
And I would say not more than
one. Yeah.
2.
Well,
at the most. I mean, but we'd been playing those songs for a while. I mean, we'd been working on them, writing them, and I mean, we just had them down. I mean, it was not hard, We'd been playing them so much. And back then, when we were super young, that's all we did. We didn't do anything else. We didn't like go to the movies. And I don't even think any of us had girlfriends. All we did was rehearse music.
Yeah, it was like on a Saturday, it would be 8 hours at Lance's house.
Yeah.
That was regular.
Yeah.
And every day after school too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because we all lived close.
Yeah, we all lived within.
Bruce would have to go pick Jason up because he couldn't drive, but other than that.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay, but I have a surprise for you guys right now, because there's someone joining here who has something very interesting to say.
we have a mystery guest.
Yes,
Awesome.
our mystery guest. So we can let him in and see what he has to say today. Let's see if he can connect.
Ole.
Ole.
Ola, are you there?
We see his name.
Yeah.
You can see his name. That's quite a spoiler, actually. That's
You have to unmute Ole.
there we have him.
There you are.
Yes.
Yay!
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Awesomeness. All right. Okay, first of all, congratulations. Living Sacrifice, man.
Thanks.
That's pretty awesome.
Thank you.
And nice to see you, Bruce. And also
Nice to
very
see
nice to
you.
see DJ, man.
Yeah. Nice to see you. It's been a long time.
All right, cool. How are you guys doing?
Good, man.
Yeah, I mean, these are
Yeah.
weird times, so yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, the things in the U.S. are starting to loosen up quite a bit. People are getting vaccinated, and so people are feeling better about stuff. So
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
And where are you? Are you in Norway?
Yes, I am. Back home in Stavern, as it is called here. Yeah. So
Awesome.
it's like 10:37 p.m. right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. And what band are you doing right now? What's it? Tell me the name of it again.
Band I'm doing?
Yes.
I'm actually not doing like a band thing these days. I did this Flesh Killer thing back in 2017.
Okay.
But these days I'm doing like solo stuff. So
Okay.
you know,
Yeah.
cheesy music.
I guess it must be. I'm thinking of Peter, that's doing some stuff with.
Oh
Some,
yeah. He's got a new thing. It's called Rada, I think,
Mhm.
or something. Yeah.
Yep.
That's
I can't.
exciting. That's pretty cool.
Guys come up with these names. I can't pronounce them.
Say what?
You guys come up with these band names, and I can't pronounce them.
Yeah, but don't blame me, man. That's
Feskler.
Peter. That's Peter, man. So yeah.
So when you guys start working on new Extol, will you be a part of that?
I hope so. I have no idea.
Sounds like a loaded
I hope
question.
Yeah, that's a loaded question.
Yeah.
It's a question that none of us Norwegians, we don't dare ask it, but we get some American in. Boom!
You know that's the first thing every American asks you, you know. So it's like you can let everybody know here, like when's some new stuff happening.
When's the new stuff coming out? Man, I wish I knew, but I don't. So yeah,
Well,
that's
one of
where
my
it's
all-time
at.
favorites.
But you
You
know,
got-
I mean, David and Krister is quite busy with Asusa, which is pretty cool. I mean, I really like that band and what they're about. And then Peter is obviously doing a new thing, and he's like totally into it, which is really cool. I mean, he's got like the spark again. So
That's great. That's awesome.
I'm very happy about that, actually. So yeah, but I mean, who knows what the future will bring, basically. So what about you guys? Huh? Ellis?
Okay, when is the next Living Sacrifice album coming out?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Been a while.
That's a good question. We don't have anything slated. We have written some ideas and stuff like that, but it's and we have good intentions of writing more music. But I would be false if I said we have a bunch of things ready to go. We do not. Everybody's busy doing their own lot. They're living their lives and working jobs and taking care of families and things like that right now. So, I mean, at this point, like I said, we would love to do something, but who knows when it's going to actually come to fruition. Maybe we can hold out as long as Tool and take 10 years to make albums.
But it was worth the wait. On the side note, there.
For the new Tool record, you like it?
Yes.
You do? Yeah. It kind of got a little too into the jam band area for me. I was kind of like, I was like, I'm like 6 minutes in. It's like, oh, I like that riff. That's a good riff. It only took 6 minutes to get to it.
And then you're out again. Oh, that's good.
Yeah. But I mean, I love Tool. Don't get me wrong.
It's certainly a bit of like a Spinal Tap jazz feel to it, but still, I like the flow of it.
It's probably one of those things where I need to give it multiple listens, and I haven't done that yet.
Yeah. So. I have nothing to say about Tool.
You have nothing to say about Tools?
I don't know anything about them. No. I don't listen to that stuff. We can talk about Steely Dan.
Yeah.
Then I'm in.
But you had a question. You're going to.
I've got a question. Yes, Marcus, that is correct. I got a question.
Should be a TV show host.
Yeah, I've got the question for the contest. Okay. Wait a second. Okay, so this is for everyone listening, right?
Yep.
Okay. So as you obviously know, if you're into this thread, Jason Truby was part of the band, part of the original lineup, and Jason Truby quit the band. Now, what was the next band, and quite a famous band, that he joined after quitting Living Sacrifice? That's the question.
And the first one to put out that in our YouTube thread wins a CD and a T-shirt, which has yet arrived from the printers. But yes.
All right. That's very cool.
Answer and T-shirt size is.
We're getting a lot of answers in here, guys. The first one is POD. Is that correct?
That is correct.
That is correct. And it's our friend G.R. Rife, actually, who got
Oh.
it first.
Wow.
He's quick in
He's
the
on.
turns, you know, as we say in Norway. Quick in
awesome.
the turns.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Can you
So
put the
you'll be
t-shirt, DJ?
expecting a package from us, GAR.
Cool. So I just got to say, how are you doing, DJ? I've never met you, but it's nice to see you. How's it going?
I'm doing excellent.
Awesome.
Nice to meet you through this way, but yes, yeah, things are going good.
Cool, man.
Yes.
Well, I just got to say that now that I have like Bruce and you both here, I kind of grew up with the old stuff, and Non-Existent was my album, if you know what I mean.
That's
so that
great.
holds a special place
Like
for me,
that.
man. Absolutely. I mean,
Love it.
even though I had the first one as well, and that still is a really cool debut album. But when the Non-Existent album came out, that was really like, you know, I could totally get into that one. And still, if I'd listened to it now, I'd say that it has like, for lack of a better word, mojo. You know what I mean? It has like that. Yeah, there's something about it, which is
It's
like
got a
because
vibe, definitely.
yeah, it's got a vibe, definitely, absolutely,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm
I
into.
agree.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
so
there's some weird stuff going on there, and well, obviously, it's probably not the best like sonic album, but that really doesn't matter at all because that's not.
Question to you though,
Sorry.
as a fellow
Yeah.
musician, would you like to hear it remixed?
Of course.
Okay.
That'd be super cool.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm down.
Yeah.
Yeah. And probably especially because I did grow up with that album and I love it. And at the same time I realized that it's probably not that well produced or mixed, should I say. But that
Both.
for whatever reason, that's not the point with that album for me. I love it for what it is. And it has like this vibe, as you say. I call it mojo, doesn't matter. It's, you know, there's just something about it. And the way that you did your vocals, DJ, that was kind of, you know, daring, if I might say it like that, you know, but I loved it. I just
Especially
remember,
back then, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. I was like, whoa, what are
in
you
the market
doing,
that
man?
we were in, you know.
Say what?
In the Christian market that we were in.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
you know.
But I loved it.
Yeah.
What was your like artistic thoughts around that choosing to do that kind of a vocal, which is such a different vocal from the debut album?
It was just, I was listening to so much death metal and especially Obituary. I just loved Hardy's vocals and just how you couldn't really understand what he was saying. And, you know, and that's what I wanted to do. And just wanted to get recorded a little bit better than it was and mixed better, but we shall see in the future if that can happen. But
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Absolutely, man. I'm down.
yeah,
So
and
that would be
plus,
my
I mean,
favorite.
we had like what was it, like we just gotten off tour, Bruce, like in July, and we had like a month and a half to write for this album. So by September we were back in the studio recording, and we had like 6 songs, and we, you know, rushed 4 other songs, but we put it together and made it happen. We didn't have a chance to actually flesh the songs out and to be in, you know, to play them live or anything, you know. So it was kind of rushed and weird for us, and everything that was going on with the label, it just kind of was a unique time, I'll say.
Cool. Well, you made history.
Yeah,
we did something.
Yeah.
At least for me, you did.
We did something.
Oh, you did.
Yeah, for many guys in the chat, it seems like you also did something. So
Yeah.
you should take that with you.
Thank you guys, man. It's all very humbling that, you know, 30 years after the fact that people still want to hear these albums and this music. So I'm very, very appreciative, and
Yes.
Cool. That's awesome. Yeah.
What's next? Ole, you got another question?
Well,
I got some questions from the chat if we're not.
Yeah, because I was
Sure.
about to ask if Vetle could give us some insights on the chat.
Yes, we have some questions. We can start off with what your favorite song from the self-titled album is, because there's a lot of course, there's a lot of good songs on that album. But do you have your own personal favorites? Maybe you have one of each.
Second Death.
Same here. Same here.
Mine's the Anorexia Spiritual.
That's some good choices for sure.
Yeah.
And we also have a question. What we also talked a bit about this previously, the shift from vocals in the self-titled to non-existent. There's some asking you what influenced you to do the style shift from there. Was it mainly the vocals that you wanted to be changed, or was it more anything else that contributed to that fact?
Well, and Bruce can hit upon this as well, but just music style, we wanted to get heavier and we wanted to be more brutal and, you know, switch from just strictly thrash into death metal at the time, because, you know, that was what we were into and how we wanted to sound, you know. Bruce.
Yeah. I mean, well, I mean, if you recall, I was late to the party because you know, definitely you and Jason and Lance were pushing everything heavier, faster, more extreme, and you know, I was probably the guy, you know, thinking, oh, I still like Testament and Anthrax. What's wrong with some good old, you know, like 4/4?
Let's ride a trial by fire.
4/4 on the floor. Yeah, no, yeah, it was you know, I think a lot of it was just, you know, we were so young at the time when we wrote and recorded the self-title, and we were definitely trying to find our sound, or our sound that would define us a little bit more, and that being a heavier sound, more extreme sound, appealed to all of us for sure. So yeah, I mean that was it. It was, you know, I mean, if you think about it, back in the 90s, it was like, I mean, metal became like a bad word, but for those that truly love metal, it was about who was the most brutal, and almost to the point where the word brutal just became had no meaning, because, you know, like brutal. Oh, it's so brutal. Well, you know,
I think
we
you can
fell into
still see that today, I guess.
Yeah, we fell into that too, and even you know, even taking it a step further on the third album, Inhabit, it's like, I mean, we just pulled out the stops. We're just like, you know, this is going to be the most heavy technical album we could make.
And fast.
So next up on our agenda is for Paul to present the products, because we are fortunate enough to have both the CD and the LP with us right now.
And I want to say, for anybody that's watching and wondering where their album is in the States, they are en route. It looks like they're landing on Tuesday. They didn't land this week like we thought, but as soon as they land on Tuesday, just give us a couple of days to turn it around and get it out the door.
Good. Good.
But the documentary, is that being is it available somewhere now for people to watch online or on DVD, or what's the plan?
It's not. We're working on the licensing for the music, and once we have that in place, we'll release it properly. I don't know that it'll be a physical version of it, but it'll definitely be available for purchase. And
I believe many guys in the chat right now have seen it already, and for those who haven't, I think they're very interested in seeing it. So that's
awesome.
Something for you to take note of.
That's real pretty, pal.
Yeah.
I wish
Thank
I had
you.
one.
Mhm.
I wish I could hold that up.
Yeah.
I love it. You guys did a great job on just working with us on the layout and including everything. Oh wow, look at that, looks bad. Oh, that's
Yeah, it's
great.
good, really good.
Mm.
Yeah, that was your idea to do it like that.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
for us, it's about really doing justice, to the releases, and really, you're picking up on history.
yeah. Well,
Just
here's
written
something
by,
that everybody
sorry.
should know. Like with every single album or the first 3 albums, we always had tried to incorporate Lance's handwriting, which you see here. Lance always had this cool way of writing things, like back in high school, and just like he was just like, it's like his metal writing. And with every album or album budget, they would tell us, oh, we can't really do that. Or there was always a reason why they could not actually incorporate his handwritten lyrics or liner notes or whatever. So 30 years later, we got it done, DJ.
Yeah.
And
Luckily for us.
DJ and Lance got together, at the HQ in Little Rock and wrote everything out longhand. So that's Lance's handwriting that you'll see there. And then the lyrics too are like, some of them are Lance's handwriting. I think some of them are your handwriting. Is that right, DJ?
I think so. I'd have to relook at it, but
Yeah. But those are like kind of like original, maybe not original drafts, but final drafts that you probably sang from in the studio, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's even
Sure.
notes by some of those lyrics.
Yeah,
Yes.
and we kept like the misspells. There's some wrong with the writing. We kept them, so it was supposed to be just like they were back in 1991.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And on behalf of Nordic Mission, I would also like to thank you guys very much for allowing us to make the album part of our catalog. Just fits perfectly on top there.
absolutely.
It's
We
such an
appreciate
honor for me personal. I've been a Living Sacrifice fan ever since I heard Non-Existent, which is actually the first one I got introduced to as well. And I just want to show you the CD booklet because it's quite different than the vinyl.
Yep.
Because it got a lot of pictures.
Yep.
Old pictures and also the handwriting, and I think it's
yeah, you guys did a great job on it.
Well,
awesome.
the pictures are from you, from your
Yeah.
I know, but you guys laid it out, and also
That's a good centerfold.
Yeah.
Yeah, the remaster is good as well. It sounds awesome.
Yeah, it is. So, yep. But you got to see this, right, Bruce?
Yes, I do have the CD. Yep.
Yeah.
And they're up for purchase at Manhead, right?
They are, and but not the vinyl. We've sold out of our vinyl weeks ago, and so anybody wanting to purchase the vinyl should purchase at Nordic Mission.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, for us, it's been an overwhelming interest in this release,
Oh, okay. Cool.
Because I mean, for us, all of us, Living Sacrifices has always been a big band, and having you guys over for Nordic Fest back in 2011, I think.
Yeah.
Correct? Yeah.
Yep.
So it's always like, for us, it's always been like a big thing, and communicating with you guys through the year and being like, we're gonna do it, but we never really realized, the legacy that Living Sacrifice is, like, above, or in America. It's been overwhelming response on this one, and the pre-sales on Amazon and the pre-sales through our distribution channels elsewhere has been over the top. So we're
That's great.
Very happy about that.
Awesome. That's good to hear, for sure.
Blessing.
Because it's I think it's also I want to say that it's important for us to try to make this album available for the new fans. You know, not just the old school guys who saw you at Cornerstone in '92, but there's like a whole different crowd, a secular crowd, you know, that's never heard about Living Sacrifice before. You know, that's our mission to get this album, you know, available, and just to get people checking it out. That's into Slayer and yeah, etc. etc.
Sure. Well, yeah. I mean, you guys stepped in right at the right time because, but you know, when we launched it, you know, I thought, okay, we'll launch this as a pre-order and see what type of interest we get, and then I'll get some quotes out from some different vinyl manufacturers. And I was doing that, and then COVID hit, and you know, everybody kind of got backed up and delayed, and then the pricing I was getting was just like crazy high, you know, as far as like, you know, getting vinyl produced in the US. And yeah, I mean, it worked out. I mean, I know the delay is obviously not great for people that have been waiting over a year for the record. However, I think the wait will be worth it because it turned out the way it was supposed to.
That is a very good way to end this conversation, actually.
I got a text.
Yes, he's got the question.
I got a text from David.
Oh.
Who says hi. Obviously, I mean, David needs to be part of this. And he wonders, Bruce and DJ, when is the LS X-Doll split album gonna come?
Well, he's the one that's saying it, so like we're down to make that happen anytime we can.
There you go.
I mean,
I'm down.
We'll start writing those songs tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
You heard it first.
Any association or affiliation we could glean off of your credibility would be amazing.
Oh man, quit it.
So much love in this room.
Yeah, so much love. So much love.
Well,
on that note, I need to say that before we guys say goodbye, I need to say that you guys are definitely part of my upbringing, just so you know it, you know, an important part. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And blessings to both of you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
We
Good seeing
appreciate
you.
All right. Likewise, man.
Yep. Well, you know, it takes you know, something like this kind of music to bring people like us together from completely different parts of the world. You know, when you guys came through, you know, to tour the States, you know, I would always try to be there and try to help as much as possible, and vice versa. You know, when we would come to Norway and stuff, you know, it was always awesome. So brothers in metal.
Oh, definitely. Absolutely. I still remember because I think I only met you once, Bruce. I think so. And I think we played a show in Arkansas, if I'm correct.
Yes.
And I still to this day, that must be the most humid and sweaty concert I've ever done, because I still remember not being able to hit my strings because I was just soaked in sweat. It was insane.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
Arkansas is known for its humidity. It is part of the Delta South.
Figures.
Yeah. And it's a very wet, soggy place. So
that was insane, but it was fun though. I mean, yeah.
Yep. Good times.
Absolutely. 1999, I think it was.
Oh yeah. Awesome.
We're getting old, man.
Yeah, but we look so good still.
I agree.
I was just gonna say.
Or at least you do. So
quit it.
There you go.
Quit it, Graybeard. You're looking nice as well.
Excellent. Do Marcus, did you have anything else, or was that?
No, I mean, it was the last. I mean, I have no other things on the agenda really.
Okay, cool. Well, I definitely want to thank everybody that's watching and that's bought the album, and yeah.
We could
It's gonna start shipping.
Finish with a question about what the next step of Living Sacrifice is. How is the future for you guys?
I mean, like I said, we're slow to write songs, but we definitely want to do more and to see how that goes. We want to keep playing shows and have incorporate the old songs and DJ into our live set as much as possible. We would love to come to Norway if that's possible at some point, and do shows that one-off shows that make sense. We're not going to be any type of touring band ever again, because that's just not part of what our lives now. But we love the opportunities to play where people, where it makes sense for people to have us, and so any opportunity we get to have DJ come and out and play with us, that's what we're trying to do. And
it's funny you should say that, because that's exactly the same thing that we are trying to do.
What's that?
It's funny that you should mention just that, because that is exactly the same thing that we are trying to do. We are also trying to get Living Sacrifice and Darren over to Nordic Fest one of these.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's make it happen, man.
Yeah, let's make that happen.
You are very welcome indeed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let me know the date.
Yeah. I will notify you, Ole.
Okay.
All who have ears will hear.
Awesome.
All right. So this
All right.
Nice conversation will be available at our YouTube channel for everyone who wants to see it later. So until next time, thank you, everyone. Have a blessed weekend, and see you later, alligator.
Yes.
I didn't practice how to finish this.
No. We,
No. I love that.
Yeah. Good.
thank you
Perfect.
for tonight, guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, I like
Thank
that non-existent shirt, by the way.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah. Beautiful. You should stand up. Yeah. Deserves a reprint.
Wow,
I
long
think.
sleeve too.
Yeah,
Wow.
the plans
That's
are
cool.
definitely to reprint that shirt and offer it at some point. So
I need one of those.
I need one as well.
okay.
I was
Let's do
born way too late for that.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you, everyone.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Good night.
Thank you.